Hello, I'm State Representative Tim Jones, and I'm here again this week with my weekly Capitol Report update. And I wanted to take this opportunity to update all of you around the state of Missouri as to what's been going on in your state capitol this week. Following the commemoration of the Martin Luther King Day holiday on Monday, which I hope you all enjoyed as we commemorated and celebrated the life and accomplishments of Dr. Martin Luther King, who was truly a great leader, we all came back to the Capitol on Tuesday. And on that date, we had an extremely important debate in the Missouri House. We debated and successfully passed House Concurrent Resolution 18. And that was a very simple resolution, but a very important resolution, which called upon our statewide elected officials and our congressional delegation to oppose the federal health control bills that are currently being debated in the U.S. Congress. I have heard from my constituents, a large majority of them for the past 10 months, that they do not appreciate what Washington, D.C. is doing in trying to take over nearly 20% of our economy and replace that with unfunded mandates, excessive taxation, and removing you and me from the decision-making role in our healthcare decisions. That bill, surprisingly, received a huge bipartisan majority in the House. The vote was approximately 111 in favor, with about 42 to 44 voting against. All of the House Republicans voted for the bill. 25 to 30 House Democrats voted for the bill. Only 42 to 44 Democrats voted against the bill. And unfortunately, I suppose they're just simply not listening to the citizens of the state of Missouri on this very important issue. We also had the State of the State address from Governor Nixon on Wednesday evening. And although the governor did give some excellent points on some ideas that he has for economic development, I would say that most of those points are ideas that have come from the Missouri House and the Missouri Senate over the past few years. So I'm very happy to see that the governor has bought into our agenda and is willing to help us move our ideas forward. Unfortunately, we did not receive the governor's budget books until after his discussion, so we did not know the details. And as everyone always says, the devil's in the details. And unfortunately, what the governor's budget proposes is to not fully fund our education funding formula and to cut higher ed. The Missouri House hopes that there's smarter, more realistic, practical, fiscally conservative ways to craft a budget than to right away look at cutting our very important education system. And I know that our budget chairman, Alan Isett, will be looking hard at the governor's budget over the next week and trying to come up with some more common sense solutions. Unlike Washington, D.C., whose focus has been entirely on a very poor version of health control over the last few months, our priorities in the Missouri House are first on jobs and economic development, and second, but also just as equally important, in protecting our state's rights and the rights of our citizens and constituents across the entire state of Missouri, whether that's on issues of health care or the cap and tax legislation or the union card check legislation or all of the other bad ideas that have come out of D.C. We hope that the common sense Missourians who elected us to represent them here in the State House will continue to see that our agenda is one that is good for Missouri and good for America. Thank you, and I'll look forward to speaking to you again next week.